everybody, welcome in to the INGAGE Weeklies, the final week of these EU Weeklies. I'm Spartan Tano, alongside me here is my colleague Tins. We're just about to get this game ready. I believe it's Team INT versus Kasekuchen, so probably one of the strongest teams coming out of this. Team INT have won it previously. Kasekuchen are a huge team that played a lot of last year's UCS, so this is going to be a pretty intense battle, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. I can't wait. I think they're almost ready to go. Yeah, we know these players really well by now. Obviously, in a team I scrimmed against back in the day when I was playing competitively, very capable team against some players I actually played with on a team in terms of Chari, very mechanically gifted player, and obviously one of your favorite players up there as well, Nihat. Against some flanked by some really great players that I've played against as well. I'm sure you have as well, mate. Not Dodo, classic player, very gifted as well. Zante, Jarawi, really exciting team. So Team INT have got it all to do here, mate. But they're a really strong team. Just have to see how it goes for them because they have got it all to do. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting one. I can't wait for it to kick off.
Yeah, this is exactly the kind of team that Kasekuchens want to go up against, though, right, Team INT? Because these are the teams they're going to be competing against in the qualifiers for the UCS, mate. Like, this is the quality that they're coming up against in these weeklies. It's really good practice for these squads to give this a go and see how they compare against the squads that they will be competing against in UCS. So it's kind of like I guess it would be a friendly in the terms of like football, in that you're getting prepared for what you're coming up against when you hit that world stage. So it's going to be an interesting battle, and I can tell you now, every single one of these teams are going to be taking plenty of notes on their opposition and how they play coming into the UCS that starts next month, Tins. How crazy is that?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't expect it, right? When that was announced, I guess it's really great that we've been hosting these weeklies. INGAGE has been putting these on because honestly, like, there's not a lot of time to prepare, not a lot of time for these teams to get ready, and it's great that they've got this sort of platform to show what they can do and play against some other really capable teams for sure.
Yeah, 100%, mate. You're absolutely right.
I feel like Jarawi on that Mamo Swine's got a very important job here in locking down that Absol in the crucial team fights. We also have Nihat on the Hooper. Usually the team that has the Hooper Tano, we say it every time, like, it's been so good in these weeklies, just porting players back to the home base at crucial times. You can have the rotations around the map, locking in some crucial Rayquazas, securing up that, and it's such a hard one to go up against. But I hope Team INT are here to play tonight.
Oh yeah, I bet they will be, buddy. But you're absolutely right. It is going to be really tough to handle either of these comps across the board, to be honest. Zacian does have that Unite move where it needs the point, but they need to break these goals early enough to get a good advantage from it without providing all that early XP. So we're going to see the Kudfu taking the jungle here for the side of Kasekuchen, probably seeing Hooper provide that assistance with it as well. Absol on the other side, getting that level 5 nice and early for the side of Team INT.
I'm looking up towards an interesting path on the top side here. You've got that Magikarp, which really needs to get going, right? And it is against 901 on a very capable player on that Zacian, as we've seen, going straight in on Dodo there, Tano. Yeah,
I really like this. This doggo is such a menace in the early game, buddy. I mean, it is throughout the entirety of the game, but Nihat is managing to put the oppression onto 901 there, and they have to back up. If they get an evolution onto this Chansey early enough and they can provide that added healing, they can really start to dominate, but they can also do that if this Absol arrives, and boy, have they arrived. Magikarp splashing around. That's a bit too much for you to look at as a little fish.
Yeah, I love the early lane pressure there from Zikamoy. It's absolutely crucial, as we were saying, with a very capable player like Not Dodo on this Magikarp here. Like, you just have to keep that down. Not quite got the Gyarados before these mid-birds here, mate. Over to you.
I like the fact that they've sent these Shifu bottom lane, but there's just no contesting that Sacred Sword, mate. And there goes the fish. It's been fried back to that Pokemon Center. I like Nihat trying to put some pressure onto the goal to stop the scoring. They've pulled up Cherry King on this Shifu, but the Sacred Sword is doing what it does best. Absol not managing to pick up the Shifu there, but they've put the oppression on. They're now going to back up, feeling like they've got enough out of that lane. But I gotta say, buddy, Kasekuchen are doing exactly the same thing in the bottom lane.
What a start so far. Not Dodo is just about to tick over to that Gyarados. I think this bit of farm should do it. There we go. The big fish is online, mate. Only 10 seconds to go till the mid-birds. 56 to Kasekuchen, 38 to Team In. Very close start to this match.
Yeah, it's really a matter of who manages to get the snowball happening first. We see Dodo coming down here to grab these birds, but there's the Absol really wanted to stop that, and there's a Sacred Sword. Can they pick up Absol? No, they managed to pursuit on out of there. DJ is going to go down, though. That Bulbasaur is just too little to handle the big bear.
Yeah, that was really well played from Cherry King there, as we expect. Zante as well, already ticked over to level 8. It looks like Zeman might get caught here. Oh, that's an absolute huge pickup, as there's 4 players up here, Tom.
Yeah, 4 rotations, huge. 901's going to have to run on out of there. They drop the Sacred Sword to do the stun. It's not going to be enough, though, buddy. When you have that armor cannon and the bounce from the Gyarados, it's too scary. It's too much damage. But I got to say, leaving the Piloswine bottom is a good decision, but they've really pushed up as Piloswine right now. They've managed to get the evolution on the Ivysaur. They're trying to pick them up and Ice Fang to throw them out of the way, but when you have Dwayne there as that Umbreon that's just going to push you left, right, and center, it's really tough to try and get onto that target, but they have managed to Ice Fang them, take them down with Armarouge locking in that KO, buddy.
Yeah, the objectives have hit the map. The top lane has been broken. Kasekuchen playing really well there to get that broken. Just before the first objectives hit the map, that was not Dodo with a 10 over gap there. Get some nice stacks in.
Yeah, taking that Regirocky's Armarouge, and we're going to have a push onto this pad coming in from the Absol. They know they need to run away. That Armor Cannon is going to be too much devastation for them. Not Dodo ripping down this Lecky. They're going to be completely uncontested, whilst this bottom lane is getting pressure from the Shifu and the Armarouge. They've had to back up because there's just too much sustain on that gold pad. It seems like Kasekuchen are beginning to take a bit of an early lead here.
It looks like all this mid farm is going to go over to them as well. The Regieleki is heading towards the tier 2 off team in here. We've got 901 looking to do some great defending here. Are they going to push onto this time? It looks like they fancy it.
Take the opportunity. You don't have a board, a springboard. There comes the Dragon Current. There goes the Doggo back to the Pokemon Center. Takes the pink blob with it. Here comes Umbreon trying to put up a fight. The Unite move comes out from the Absol. It doesn't do enough damage that they do take down the Armarouge. That Armor Cannon is not doing anything here, but a triple KO coming in from the Dragonfish is going to be enough to clear that goal. 281 points to 38 right now.
Absolutely insane. It was really nice from Zekemoy popping the Unite and picking up a nice important KO there, keeping themselves sort of in the game with the experience of that provided, Tano. But yeah, it's looking really difficult for Team In as we head towards the mid game here.
Ooh, a really weak Mamoswine manages to get back to their pad and get some healing onto them. Venusaur having to do exactly the same. I like these beams coming in, buddy, but I feel like there's so much in the face of Team Int right now. They're struggling to handle it, and look at that. An Ice Fang and a push out of the way for the Umbreon, and they have been annihilated. And I tell you, they are working so well at the moment at Kasekuchen.
It's really hard, isn't it, for this Team In to do anything here. They had a really decent start to the game, really, but it's just that Kasekuchen have started to get on top here. It looks like they fancy a push onto this bot pad as well.
It's really all about feeding that Doggo. Give them the healing, stick with them, provide the support, and that Zacian will be able to cook. You've got the Venusaur beams in the background. Everybody's getting ready for this Regice, but peek where that Gyarados is. They were coming down for the flank, but they're now going for the buffs from the jungle. We have an Engage here. Nia has pulled out the Rings Unbound. That's going to pull through the Dragon Current on that Gyarados, but they do lock in the objective. It is the Armarouge doing what Armarouge does best. Absol has to yeet on out of here. He's running away as fast as he possibly can, buddy, but with that Ice Fang, that's going to be DJ down. That's probably going to be goodbye to that T1.
It looks like it, mate. It's going to be only a 9 overcap on there. Absol's hightailed it to the top side to get a nice score in there. Zekemoy's playing really well in the face of Kasekuchen. They're just having an absolutely insane game so far. There is a Regieleki on the map who is going to be interested in taking this one.
310 points over on the side of Kasekuchen, 72 on the side of Team Int. No T2 goal in your top pad you have to show for this Lecky. I know it's not that long before we have the Rayquaza, and you may want to try and stall this, but I like this from Team Int, buddy. You have to get rid of that. You don't want to be dealing with that near the Rayquaza. They are going to push into it, though. Not Dodo is there. They have a nasty bounce and Dragon Breath that can lock that in. Zacian tries to do the same with the Unite move, but it's not enough. Armarouge turned up. They use that cannon. Goodbye, Zacian. Hello, Lecky.
So unlucky for Team In. I saw charging up that the Unite move from the Zacian there. They really needed to lock that in Tana because this Regieleki is heading towards that home base, as we know. Hopefully there's not going to be another one hitting the map, so it is important for Team INT to get this out of the way so they can really focus on that Rayquaza fight that they so desperately need to win, my friend.
They do. I really like the vision, though, from Absol to jump down to that T2, buddy. They knew that that's what Kasekuchen were going to do. They're going to show up at that T2, score those points whilst they're having to deal with that Lecky. They backed up, though. They're going to grab some XP. I think it was the Umbreon managing to grab that, but that Ice Fang is going to take them. Luckily, they have a massive health pool and have managed to survive that CC.
Wayne had to pop the eject button there to escape. There is a last objective popping up on the bot side here. I feel like the side of Team INT really just need to get some farm in here. Tano, you can't really contest this because if they do end up going down right before the Rayquaza fight, that is basically game over for me, I feel.
Yeah, it's really not worth it, mate. Look at Mammothswine setting themselves up in a really good aggressive position to drop some CC as soon as this battle takes place. But it's as we mentioned earlier, buddy, this Hooper has just been able to provide these rotations for free because those goals have not been broken. Unfortunately, they've not managed to capitalize on that, have Team INT. Here comes the big dragon onto the field, though. What are we going to see happening? I like the pressure from the Venusaur. You need to keep poking that damage in. You're the only one with poke in this game right now, buddy. You have to keep doing that. Buddy, you have to keep doing that.
Absolutely. Look at the positioning of Yeeha here, right by that. If they could just get the points and score in that main base, I think it would be game over, my friend. But the points going on the top side there, 8 points. There it is. The Rings Unbound are popped to the home base, mate. And it looks like 50 points raining in from every player. Kasekuchen here. The rip is ensued, mate.
Yeah, I mean, this is it. This is a tactic that we've seen pros play every single time, and that's going to be too many points for them to catch up with here. They've got the Rayquaza, fantastic, but they're just going to defend. They're going to take your shields, and there's not enough change on the field really for them to get this win. It was a fantastic decision for Kasekuchen to do that plan, mate. This is why that tactic works every single time when you're so far ahead.
Yeah, that's what we're saying about the Hooper, right? It's just so good. It's been great. We said every single thing, and it happened to perfection for Kasekuchen in this game. The rotations around the map, just keeping the goal zone safe. I love what Chari did as well at the end there with the damage from the water bear there. The Venusaur could not get the hundo dunk in, mate. Like, that's just some great play there.
This is it. It's another situation where you lock in the Rayquaza, and it's just not enough for you, mate. Like, they've really managed to start dominating Kasekuchen, and it's scary because it was all around those all-rounders. As soon as Gyarados was online, you couldn't do anything in that top lane. It was a really difficult game for the Absol to handle. They tried it. They did a good job, but there's just so much CC over there, and you can't get onto the Armor Rouge. Look at the damage it does. It's just half health that Zacian coming in with one armor cannon.
Yeah, what an insane first match we've seen there, though, mate. Like, it's actually a really nice game. We saw Team INT last week really struggling in the first match. We didn't really see that so much here. Like, they had really good spells in the game. Kasekuchen, obviously, such a good team, and they really showed that in this first match. But I think Team INT can take some positives from that for sure, and maybe just take that Hooper out of the game.
I'm with you, mate. I do think it provides too much, because the thing is, like, the way that you're going to look at it is if they get Hooper, we need to capitalize on breaking these goals at the right moment. They didn't get the opportunity to do that, did Team INT, so you've got to think about what that Hooper's provided them. Of course, it can do healing, and it does quite a lot of that. The Rings Unbound just enables them to really move around that map in such a free way. You can let your team go grab farm, and then it'll pull you to an objective. It just offers so much, which is why a lot of people ban it or pick it up themselves. So let's see if they decide to take that opinion. But as we have a look at this damage, buddy, 68k coming in from DJ, so they were hitting those beams. We saw them doing just that. Cherry King 69k, 74k on Zanti being the highest in the game, and I mean, we saw every single one of those armor cannons coming in, buddy. So it was a difficult one for Team INT. Let's see what they can do in game 2.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, I have to shout out Zika more as well on the side of Team INT. It was insane all game at picking up Zante, like at least 3 or 4 times in that match, and I was hoping that would be the case. They would have like a Ray fight and they'd be able to pick up that KO, and it might change the tide of the game, but it just was not to be, mate. But it's all to play for, you know. Let's hope that Team INT can pull it back and we get a lovely little reset for the first match tonight.
Well, if any team can do it, it will be Team INT. That's what they're capable of doing, mate. They're one amazing team. We've got a lot of love for them in chat, as well as Kasekuchen, probably two of the biggest teams in EU in regards to how much fans love them. So it's a huge shout to seeing these two battle it out. But what is also a huge shout, chat, is the latest episode of the magazine that has just dropped from INGAGE GG. Go check it out. It's issue 2. There's a lot of interesting information in it, especially around the Pokemon Unite esports scene. So go give that one a look. It's exclamation mark magazine, I do believe. So yeah, don't forget to check that one out.
INGAGE are doing so much right now for the Pokemon Unite scene, putting on these weeklies, magazines, all these different things. Like, it's so great to have this sort of a company in the scene. And yeah, like I said earlier, I just feel honoured to be sat here, mate, casting these weeklies. We do have the finals this Saturday night as well, the 4 best teams from the last 4 weeks. So that's going to be really exciting, and we hope to see all of you there supporting the teams for that. And it's going to be one hell of a night of Unite.
It is, mate. I'm really excited for it. It's like next level competitiveness from these teams, so I'm really excited for that. Obviously, we do have Fearless Draft chat, so we're just about going into this game now. So as a reminder, these teams are not allowed to pick the mons that they just had in that game for the rest of this set. Now, we saw Zacian on the field, buddy. We saw Hooper on the field. We saw a lot of mons. Armarouge. They're not able to use those mons in this game anymore. And if they want to get the win, Kasekuchen, they have to win this game.
They certainly do, and wouldn't it be great to see Team INT come back? Will they decide to pick up that Hooper because it hasn't been banned out of the match yet? And yeah, they are not going to ban it, I don't think, because obviously Kasekuchen can't use it again. So similar bans picked up here. We've got Charizard and the Cerulege out of here again, exactly the same as last time. Armarouge and Umbreon, 2 more smart bans here, Tom.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. You don't want to be giving the Armarouge to Kasekuchen, so you ban it. I think that's a great decision, mate. You can't play it, you want to get rid of it. And a fantastic shout out by them. Let's see what DJ picks up, because they have managed to get the Zacian over on the side of Team INT. That seems to be the XEX Mon that everybody's so scared of going against, or at least is they're managing to lock in and play so well, mate. So this is going to be an interesting first set of picks coming in from Kasekuchen. They do pick up the Mamoswine and they pick up the Eldegoss, so they've locked in the core of their team straight away.
Absolutely, great start on the other side here. Mamoswine and Eldegoss picked up, but we see the 3 EX Mons picked up. Darno, Ho-Oh, Zacian and Miraidon. What a start that is to a draft.
Yeah, I don't really think you can contest that, mate. I think that is probably the best kind of draft you could get. They might as well go for all of the XEX Mons, but yeah, that is solid. I mean, that Zacian's going to be in your face 24/7. Fantastic support coming in from the Ho-Oh, and that Miraidon, we already know, is the strongest in class in regards to that Mon. Pikachu getting picked up, as well as that Metagross from 901, is a good decision. I like that, buddy. They can provide a lot of CC, and honestly, Metagross is a massively underrated Mon.
Absolutely, it's very strong. Pikachu especially right now. The only thing I am concerned about here, Tano, is Mamoswine and Metagross do take a while to get going, especially in the face of a Zacian. Things like Miraidon and Ho-Oh that are so good from the start, you know. Let's hope that the team know what they're doing here and they can get online early. Otherwise, this could be a very difficult match for them in the face of such a strong XEX draft here.
Yep, 100%, mate. That is a lot of experience that they really need to be getting on those Mons. And when you lock in that Dragonite as well, I don't know. That's tough. It's an interesting decision. Let's see how they crack with it, because they do have some good early over on the side of Kasekuchen. I know you do have that Pikachu, you do have that Eldegoss, which is a pretty decent early, but I don't know. I'm with you. I think it's going to be pretty tough.
I mean, Zekamon was fantastic last game on that Absol, right? Obviously a gifted player we know all about. Will they go for the Hyper Beam here, though, or are they going to sort of go much more brawly into the bulk that they've got on the side of Kasekuchen there? That's absolutely insane. Ho-Oh and Trevenant there, so bulky, mate. It's going to be interesting to see. It'd be interesting to see the Metagross and the Dragonite go sort of brawl style and just go for that all out. But let's just see how this goes. I can't wait to see this match.
Well, I'm just thinking they do need some sort of secure over on the side of Team In. They do have that Dragonite Hyper Beam to do that, but I'm with you. Do they just go all Brawl? I mean, I don't know. I think that you've got to worry about that Miraidon in the backline over on Kasekuchen. You don't really have anything that's going to hop onto that and try and deal with that, and that thing is going to wreak havoc on your teammate if you cannot get the KOs onto that.
Yeah, certainly. It's a well-timed Dragonite Unite move there, mate. If you do go for that Outrage build, that could be interesting. Jumping into that backline, but here we go.
I hope so. That is going to be the decider in this game. Cherry King taking that Mimikyu into the jungle section. We do see Ho-Ho coming in for an invade. We've seen Niat doing invade so many times. Ho-Ho is really good to do just that, picking up the red buff straight away, locking that one down. They're going to try and take the blue buff as well, buddy. But look at the aggression coming in from Kasekuchen straight away.
This is exactly what we were concerned about, right? And that red buff going over to the Ho-Oh there is really detrimental to the progress of Team In. We see it sort of flipped in the top side here. Dodo just being left on his own on that Zacian. Can 901 pick this up here? No, it does go over to Dodo. So yeah, we've just seen it flipped. Last time Team In had that Zacian, really good top lane pressure to the Absol coming up, but here comes Mimikyu.
They've really had to lock down on that Ho-Ho. It spent a lot of time picking up the KO, and it's meant that they've really managed to cook over on the side of Kasekuchen at the moment. Dodo's very close to their level 5, despite not being in this lane. They've got 33 points in, they've got some dunks, and it's not too far from getting Evo on the Phantom. A lot of farm coming up here, though. They have managed to pick it up on that Dragonair, so they're going to be at least getting closer to that big Dragonite. But with this Doggo in your face, the Sacred Sword is going to be a bit too much for you, buddy. They're not going to be able to heal against those piercing swords coming at them.
No, we said it from the start, 94 points to 0. They're making such good use of Kasekuchen with these EX mons from the start. Tano, we've seen 100 points scored from them already. The big donut still for the side of Team In. We knew that this was going to be sort of a late game for Team In already, so this sort of pressure from the opposing side here from the start is really not helping them. But 8 seconds to the first set of mid-bursts. It looks like only Zante on that Miraidon interested so far.
I gotta say, what is helping them at the moment is that Mammoth. They are working an absolute treat, mate. But look at this. We see the Gyro Ball coming in from 901. They drop the Thunder, they drop the Charge, and that is a lot of damage Miraidon can do. But they do have a Dragonair on their tail. DJ is also here. Charikin locks in, though. Picks up one. Can they pick up two? It is the Pikachu. Everybody wants to see this thing get KO'd with the way it is in this meta. Charikin doing just that.
Yeah, we just saw Team In there getting so focused in on getting that KO on Zante, which would have been so good if they could have picked it up, but Chari, the player that he is, shadow sneak through the wall, and they are so dominant at the moment. Either side, Kasekuchen starting just where they left off last game.
Juhari just bonking that Mammoth on the head. You're going back. Nice push in. That's going to be another 2 KOs in this bottom lane. The pressure has been insurmountable for Team INT. They've not been able to do much down here, and I've got to say, it's pretty much the same in the top lane because you've got not Dodo and Niat up here, and it's just too much pressure from these 2 XEX mons. 901 trying to work a tree, but with Juhari coming up on this big tree, you're not going to be able to defend anything against that.
So insane from the side of Kasekuchen. These XEX mons are just doing all the work at the moment, but let's just shout out Jarawi doing some great horn leech, pushing these players straight into the danger zone. Can they get some KOs on the map here? They really need it, Team In, but also they just can't risk getting snowballed here.
So much rip coming in from Kasekuchen, though. It's so much damage that it's difficult to handle. We do have the Hyper Beam coming out of the second mode, but are they going to be able to do anything with it? The meteors are landing, buddy. You're going to have to call NASA because I see 4 people KO'd. Back to that Pokemon Center. Nice lock-in with the Lecky. Can they get an overcap? Yes, they do. 35-point overcap in that T1 with a triple KO for Zacian.
How insane has Dodo been so far on that Zacian? Really quite helped by the how long it's taken Team INT to get online purely from I think it's Nihat on that Ho-Oh just being so insane from the start, picking up a really important bit of farm in the opposing jungle from the start. Heading into the mid game here, what do Team INT have to do, Tommy?
It's tough because you need XP, mate, and how are you going to get that when it's getting taken away from you? Look at that combo that we've just witnessed. You get Horn Leech into Oblivion, you've got the attack coming in from Niat that's just going to cause that CC and damage, and then they just back it up with something from a Zacian or the Mimikyu usually. And I don't think 901 is going to be able to survive here. Dodo's got their boosteds up. We've got the Hornleech coming in alongside the Woodhammer. That's goodbye to you. And look at this, just constant prowling for XP. Kasekuchen right now. If you can't get that, you're not going to get back into this game.
How great was it to see a 901 there breaking some ankles, running round and around the wall, just wasting as much time as possible, allowing the rest of the team in to pick up some much needed farm. 2 objectives about to hit the map here, Tano. It is great to see the team in second base here hasn't been hit so far. On the top side, I think it was already gone at this point last game, and there was a Regieleki heading towards their home base, so they're doing good at that stage, but 295 points to 5. Kasekuchen's 290 points ahead in time.
Yeah, it's tough, mate, because look at this combo. I think they may be able to pick up Zacian here. They have used their Unite move, and that's going to be a Hyper Beam to Oblivion for them. But the combo of that Trevenant alongside any form of damage has worked so well for Kasekuchen. Not just yet, because that Dragonite managed to get back to their team, but they're putting up an absolute surmountable defense in Chuare right now. Who's going to lock in this Regieleki is going to be the Hyper Beam. The Meteors are coming down to land. Nice, massive stun there. There comes the fire attack from the Ho-Ho. Can they lock in? They do take down the Metagross, and I tell you what, as if they were going to lose all of that lane, Kasekuchen have come to answer. Goodbye, Team In.
Jeez, look at Cherry popping off there. I think that's at least a 3 KO there. Shadow Sneak on point, just patching all those resets. Level 14 is Cherry King at this point, Tana. We've just ticked over 4 minutes. This is absolutely insane there. It was great to see Team In come together and pick up an important KO or 2 at the top side there, but they are just getting picked off here, and they need to start fighting together.
I think this is probably why Team In banned that Mon previously, right? Team In didn't want to handle that Mimikyu. It was Niat that picked up the ban, I believe, but it's just one of those where they know how good that Mimikyu is because Cherry King plays so well on it, mate. But yet again, here we go. Kasekuchen pushing into this jungle, and look at that. Unite moves are getting popped left, right, and center. Here comes the Thunderstorm. The Charge Beam is coming in from Miraidon. They've managed to pick up 1 and 2. Yeah, they're going to get this Mamoswine. It is getting pretty weak. The Thunder does just that, but Pikachu was there to answer. DJ locking that in, and I think 901 with this Gyro Ball alongside that Electro Ball. All the balls coming at them. They've managed to take down the Miraidon.
Let's go, Team In. That's exactly what we need to see, but I think Ho-Oh is going to get down here just in time to defend this bot tier. It is going to stay, so unfortunately, 340 to 5. But Tano, how important is that period of play there to Team In?
Massive. That has managed to get them a tasty bit of XP. They can now get back into this game. Level 13 on the Pikachu, level 13 on that Metagross, mate. It is massively valuable. I mean, it's not too close from 13 on the Dragonite as well, so it just shows how one center of play can change a game for a team.
I just caught a little bit of action in the Team In jungle there. Jarawi on the Trevenant used a lovely Woodhammer just to drag the piece of farm through the wall and pick it up in face of the Dragonite. So insane. What great mechanical skill that is.
That again, Kasekuchen prepared for anyone coming close to the Metagross just getting caught out there, and they're going to go for the Rip Buddy. They've got Miraidon, they've got Zacian. Oh, they've decided not to. They have got a nice pickup with that Trevenant in the back lane though. Hornleech, and they're going to get pushed into Oblivion. There comes the Meteors. Goodbye, Elder Goss. And they're going to pick up Dwayne. They're trying to do whatever they can, but that's too much for them to handle. And it's an ace, buddy. Kasekuchen cleaning up this game. Metagross is coming in, but I don't think they're going to get there quick enough. We're going to get Usain Bolt coming in here, 901, but it's not quick enough, but a nice Kasekuchen play to lock in the Rayquaza.
Oh, it's so unfortunate. We saw Team In have such a good passage of play to get their level sort of back on, but then someone got picked up at that Ray Pit, and it looks like the Hundos are going to rain into that home goal here. It is well deserved, I have to say, but such a shame. We thought Team In was going to have a sort of really good Ray fight, and someone just got caught at the end. It's so unfortunate, but well deserved, I have to say.
Yeah, I gotta say, I mean, both of these teams are amazing. They're some of my favorite teams in EU, but Kasekuchen have just been absolutely demolishing anyone that comes their way. They did it last week in these weeklies, and they're just such a fantastic team, and they've played to perfection in these past 2 games. So it's been a tough one for Team In to handle. They're a really solid team, Kasekuchen, so we're gonna battle this one out, buddy. We're gonna get some stat pad going on. Look at all those Sacred Swords and Charge Beams coming in. That's it. You can't get onto that Miraidon because you have to deal with all that in your face. Mimikyu, Zacian, Trevenant, Ho-Ho. You can't even begin to think of that Miraidon.
Probably going to see a 1,000-point game. We saw a couple last week with Tano, but let's just think for a second. In UCS this year, right, it's not very far away, and we've seen so many mons popping off here. What would you ban? Like, there's just so many great mons. Hoover can be so good. These 3 EX mons, as we keep calling them, just still seem so powerful. Like, you've got the Sacred Sword and the Unite Me from the Miraidon there, just working so well together. It's just insane. Really well played.
Yeah, I was having a conversation with Gatlu the other day, and we were saying that, you know, what exactly that, Tins, what our team's going to look at banning. Like, what do you handle with the way the game is right now? There's so many mons that are solid, so many mons that are good, and he was basically saying that unless you know someone on the other side that is like, this person is amazing on this mon and we really need to handle them, you're just going to be banning what's meta, really. You're going to be trying to pick up what's meta, you're going to be trying to ban what is meta, and try and make that out of the way. So I feel like that's what you try and do here. They've taken the Armarouge out, the Charizard, Umbreon, Ceruledge, they're all meta, but there's just so many meta mons. And look at how many they have over on the side of Kasekuchen. What can you do against that absolute team of EX mons alongside a Trevenant and a Mimikyu? It's too much, and they showed it just there.